Cathie Wood. Cathie Wood is in deep trouble, folks, and I mean deep trouble. So essentially, I was watching some CNBC this afternoon, and the reason being is two of my companies were reporting earnings. Facebook was reporting earnings, PayPal was reporting earnings, and usually CNBC kind of has it the fastest as far as the numbers, and I like to kind of just hear what people are saying about stocks like that. So if any of my bigger companies are reporting, I usually like to watch CNBC. So I'm watching this, right? And Facebook comes out with numbers, and stock does pretty good after hours. Well, I shouldn't say pretty good. It did amazing after hours. PayPal reported earnings, and it did okay after hours. A few other stocks reported earnings. Meanwhile, there was another stock that reported earnings, and this one flashed, and I was in shock. Literally in shock, because I could not believe how much this stock was down. And this is a Cathie Wood massive position. I'm telling you guys, Cathie Wood's in so much trouble, you don't even have a clue, okay? So here's the deal. If you go to CathieWoodStocks.com, there's my website that tracks Cathie Wood's top 25 positions on a daily basis for the main Ark fund, and keeps you up to date on how many shares she has, market value, weight, things like that, okay? If we look at Cathie Wood stocks, the third biggest position is TDOC stock, right? This would be her second biggest position if it wasn't for the fact that the stock's already been falling so much. To give you some reference to TDOC, this stock is down over 80% from February of 2021. That's a year and a couple months, and the stock is down over 80%. Now, when you see a stock down 80%, right? First off, let's be clear about TDOC. TDOC's a real revenue company. It's not like this is a pre-revenue company. TDOC has a legit huge opportunity in front of its virtual healthcare, right? And we got an aging population, especially in the United States of America. And virtual healthcare is just going to become a bigger and bigger thing. My wife actually just had a virtual healthcare meeting today for her test results, essentially. And so this is something that's obviously going to get massively bigger over the next decade or two. But none of that matters right now. This stock is down over 80% nonetheless, okay? And they reported earnings, and after hours, the stock went down 37%. The stock was already down over 80% in the past year and 2 months. I mean, I've never seen anything like this sort of pain in the market right now. Incredible. A 37% drop, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, what we're going to get into in this video, okay? Now, what caused the stock to fall another 37% after the stock's already been down 80%? Well, first thing you got to understand about TDOC is they're growing. They're a growing company. Like they are. They grew revenues 25%, all right? Adjusted EBITDA down a bit. They took a massive loss, mainly because of some goodwill impairment there, but no one's really in it for the losses in the short term. They're in it for the revenue opportunity, right? Where the trouble comes in is around guidance. So they guided for about 590 midpoint for next quarter, and they guided for about $2.45 billion as a midpoint for their full year guidance, right? So remember those numbers, 590 and, 2.45 billion there, okay? Now, analysts had expected for next quarter, essentially 615 million. So they're coming under, obviously, quite a bit under midpoints at 590. Analysts were at 615, so that's a miss. And then they come in at 2.45 billion when 2.58 billion is the expectation. In this sort of market, let me make it very clear. You can't miss numbers. And it doesn't matter if your stock's down 60%, 70%, 80%. If you come in and you miss numbers in this sort of market, you are doomed. And they came in, they missed numbers, and the stock got absolutely wrecked again when you just think it couldn't got hit any further, okay? Now, real quick here before we get to the rest of this, and like I said, that was just tip of the iceberg. TDOC. I think everybody wants to know my opinion. Is this stock a buy tomorrow? Let me be very clear. I would be buying the stock tomorrow. I will not buy the stock tomorrow. And it's not because I don't think TDOC's a great value. It's just because, dude, there's 85 million deals in this market right now. I think TDOC's have gotten, if it's $30-something a share tomorrow, the risk reward on that's amazing. TDOC has not been this low since 2017. 2017, you got to go back to find TDOC this cheap. So I think it's a buy tomorrow, but I'm not buying that stock tomorrow. Dude, there's too many other great deals in this market right now. Smalls, mids, large caps that I look at that I think are easier money that also have big potential over the coming years. So I think TDOC's a moneymaker. And I think if you buy TDOC tomorrow at $30-something a share, I think you'll be a very happy shareholder in 5 years from now. probably in 2 years from now, honestly, much quicker than that even. But with that being said, in this sort of market, this is the issue with this sort of market. You have deals all over this market right now. There's so many stocks that are a great deal. Like, dude, I have a list of stocks here all the way to, Boulder City on stocks that I think are great values right now. And so that's the toughest part of this market right now. As you see stocks tanking, and it's like, do I really want to put some money in that? Because there's all these other deals over here that I actually like even better, right? Now, like I said, that's the tip of the iceberg. Let's go ahead. Let's talk about our second biggest position, which is Zoom stock, right? Zoom stock can't do a dang thing right now. This stock is down 78% from February of 2021. 78%. It's been almost as bad as TDOC. And the problem with Zoom is, obviously, folks are going back to the offices and things like that. No one wants to hold these sorts of stocks in this sort of market right now. And so Zoom, it's like you're going to be waiting probably a bit for this one to pop as well. Now, the good news with Zoom, and here's where things could get interesting. With Zoom, this stock could be down huge tomorrow on the back of the TDOC situation, right? And could be down for the rest of this week. So this stock could drop going into their earnings and maybe actually pop on their earnings essentially because they're already priced in like worst case scenario. Because everybody's going to see this TDOC situation and be like, yeah, Zoom's down almost 80%, but it might go down another 36% on their earnings. Look what happened to TDOC. So this one's probably going to sell off into earnings, and I wouldn't be surprised if actually it goes up after their earnings day. I've seen that happen in the market a million times before, and I wouldn't be surprised here. But this is a disaster, right? Now, Roku, this is our fourth biggest position here, right? I've never understood Roku ever. This stock's down, 81+% from February. It's down even more if you take it from this peak here, which was over the summer when Roku really did peak. That's like an 85% drop or so from there. These are the sorts of drops you just don't see ever in the market. And Roku, like I said, I've never understood the stock. And what's it going to take to get Roku to turn around? I don't know. You know what I mean? Like literally, I don't know what they can possibly do to turn that stock price around anytime in the short term here. Their number 5 biggest position is Coinbase. This stock's down 65% since November. It's been devastated, right? And I mean, Coinbase does a great job and good company. There's nothing I can say bad about them, but we got no excitement in the crypto market right now. Bitcoin has no excitement. And I think this is a fair question. When does Bitcoin start to go up? I don't know. Right now, no one wants to take any risk in any financial assets. Dude, even silver's dropping. I'm like, holy smokers, man, even my silver's dropping. Like, you got to be kidding me. That's when you really know it's bad out there. When you start to see silver and gold drop, oh boy, okay, you know it's starting to get rough. This is a sort of market, no one wants to take any risks. So how's Bitcoin going to go up in that sort of environment? And with all the ad spend that Coinbase does, and obviously FTX US, who's my partner on the channel, and all the other companies that are spending like crazy right now, the crypto brokerages and exchanges, spending money left and right, you still can't get Bitcoin to move right now. And so for a stock like Coinbase, I mean, I don't know when Bitcoin moves again. And I mean in a positive way. I mean, it could be a month from now, it could be a year from now, it could be 3 years from now. We've seen Bitcoin go on some pretty vicious cycles, and we've never seen Bitcoin perform in an environment where we go into a real recession. Bitcoin was created in 2009, so it hasn't seen a major recession yet. We don't know how it performs in that sort of scenario. And obviously with a lot of fear about recession in the back half of this year and going into 23, I don't know. We'll just kind of have to see, but that's one that's kind of in no man's land right now. Square's our 6th biggest stock. This stock is down 61%. Just since late October, essentially. 61%. Square is a great company. They own Cash App. I like this one a lot. I'll be honest. I like PayPal better, but I do like this one a lot. I think this is a moneymaker. I think this one will turn around eventually. She might have to wait another quarter or two, but this one should turn around. So I give her the benefit of the doubt there on Square, but it's still been devastated. Exact Sciences. This is our 7th biggest stock. This stock has been holding up decent, if you want to call it that, but it's still down 60% or so from February 2021. If you look at our 8th biggest position, Unity Software, this stock is down since November of 2021. It's down 65% when it comes to the big U there. If you look at Twilio, this is our 9th biggest position here. This one's down, since February, 73%. And the problem with these stocks are these trading kind of baskets, right? And because they're all in her ETF, and a lot of people invest in some of these similar stocks. So the problem is you have the dominoes just continue to run the wrong way, right? TDOC drops a bunch. It's going to likely drop almost all her Cathie Wood stocks tomorrow, right? And the Ark Invest stocks, it's going to probably knock them all tomorrow, unless there's just a massive upward day in the market, which could hopefully save some of those. But if TDOC gets hit, they all get hit. If Zoom gets hit, they all get hit. If Tesla gets hit, that's when they really all get hit. And we're not even going to discuss Tesla in this video. That's the elephant in the room. Tesla's the elephant in the room in this whole situation. What happens if interest rates keep spiking up, and people start losing jobs or those Tesla orders there? I don't know, and there's so much expectation around growth when it comes to good old Tesla Tesla. That's a whole can of worms I don't even want to go into in this video, but that's another situation, right? If you look at a stock like Spotify, this stock was down over 12% today. The market, it was a green day in the market. It should have hopefully at least been break even in the market today, or maybe made a little money. Spotify down over 12% here today. This stock's down 73+%. Where's the hope? There's just no optimism or hope in any of these stocks. Shopify is one of our bigger positions. Shopify, this stock's now down 75% since November. Since November, guys. You look at these position after position after position after position, and it's just like they're just getting devastated. And the problem with this is it's not like it doesn't even feel like we're reaching a bottom on these stocks. That's the biggest issue. It'd be one thing if it's like, okay, we're bottoming out now. These stocks are either starting to uptrend a little bit or just kind of staying around break even, from where they've been the past couple months. It just gets worse. Shopify just continues to get worse, and Spotify just gets worse, and Zoom just gets worse, and TDOC just gets worse. And, it's like, when does this ever end? And the worst part of this is we're not even in bear market on S&P. We're not even in bear market on the Dow. We're in bear market on NASDAQ and on Russell, but not on the others. And so that's the trouble here, right? Now, the next issue, if we really want to get into the iceberg. So Ark had finally drawn in some capital after they had weeks of outflows. Everybody that pays attention to Ark saw what just happened to TDOC, right? And this is going to be a situation where I wouldn't be surprised if they got outflows of money again. If they got outflows of money, they got to cash positions, right? And that puts more selling pressure on these stocks and not buying pressure on those stocks. And never mind if you get a week, let's hope Apple comes through and Amazon comes through with earnings, but if those ones don't and NASDAQ falls a bunch more, meanwhile, you got outflows going at the same time. Dude, oh my gosh, that's a disaster on a disaster. Never mind if you say Tesla starts to weaken even more with this whole Elon Musk Twitter situation. It's ugly. And so when it comes to Ark Invest, a lot of people are now using Ark is actually kind of like a trading mechanism instead of just a long-term investor. So, for a while there, people were attracted to Ark because of the long-term philosophy and long-term stocks. But now people are starting to play Ark from a trading perspective, which is pretty interesting. Basically, if people want to go risk on, they buy Ark, right? And if they want to go risk off, they basically sell Ark. Okay. And so people are starting to use Ark as a trading mechanism now, which makes the outflow inflow situation even more of a mess. And if you get the longs to take out money, right? Because here's the thing. A lot of people look at this ETF and people give up on their stocks all the time. People are going to give up on Cathie Wood and the Ark stocks when they see just this constant devastation, right? There's going to be like, she can't do it. She doesn't have it. TDOC just fell to the lowest it's been since 2017. And people are just going to throw in their cards and give up. And I'm not saying that's the right move, but that's human psychology. That's what folks do. People do it on stocks all the time. When those stocks continue to get, it's very easy to hold a stock that's uptrending. That's not hard. It's a cake. Everybody can do it when the stock's going up and up and up. Everybody can hold the stock during that time. It's also not super hard for folks to hold a stock if it's not really doing too much, right? People kind of sometimes get a little frustrated, like, hey, I want to make money. Why is the stock not doing anything? It's another situation when you're holding, let's say, Ark ETF, and that ETF just continues to get devastated more and more and more, and you're looking at the stocks inside the ETF that are main positions go down more and more and more and miss a guidance here and miss a guidance there. And it's like, Cathie, I thought you had this whole research team. Why are you missing these numbers? I could do this myself, and invest in companies that miss earnings. And so people start getting frustrated when they're investing in an ETF and they're not seeing these misses coming, right? And so it's just an ugly situation. Now, when it comes to Ark, this is down, 68% plus since February 2021. And, Ark was so hot for a while there. Now, I know it comes to a lot of people's, attention and like, is Ark a buy, right? Especially tomorrow. Who knows where Ark's going to be at tomorrow? 45, 46, 47. I don't know. We'll see where Ark trades out at tomorrow. A lot's going to depend upon the market and if the rest of our stocks can get saved. But when it comes to Ark, my views on this, because I have friends ask me sometimes and things like that. And my view of Ark is it's not a buy. And the reason it's not a buy is not because I don't believe Ark could perform well, because I'm sure Ark could do just fine over the next 5 years. The reason I feel like Ark's not a buy is I think Ark owns a lot of questionable stocks. And so the way I look at it is I say, okay, let's say you were thinking about owning Ark, and let's say you were going to put $10,000 into Ark, right? And you're like, I think I'm going to put $10,000 into Ark, right? Let's say one of my children says that. I'd say, okay, son, why put $10,000 into Ark? Why not just research the stocks she holds and pick out the 5 stocks that you believe in the most over the next 5 years and put $2,000 in each of those stocks. That way you get exposure to the best of the best in that, right? And so maybe it's Tesla, Square, Shopify, I don't know, Zoom, it's hard for me to even, say 5 of our stocks and TDOC, let's say, for instance. And so you pick that 5, you do your research and like, these are the 5 I'm going to buy. Cool. Buy those, because why invest in the whole thing and you get a bunch of stocks that you probably aren't even going to like? And when those stocks go down, you're just going to be frustrated because you're like, dang, man, these crazy stocks are going down. I don't know why she owns this stock. And it's just going to lead to frustration. Just pick out the 5 you like the most, diversify that money in those stocks, and call it a day. So, but anyways, guys, let me know what you think about Cathie Wood, this Ark Invest situation. It's a mess, man. I've never seen anything like this. I got to say that. This is, I've never seen anything like this. It's just, my 14 years in the market, I've never seen anything like these sorts of sell-offs. And, it's just been insane. See TDOC down 80% or whatever going into these earnings and then drop another 36% after hours. It's just like, it's crazy. It's literally just crazy to me to like even see that stock fall to the same levels it was in 2017. Like, dude, that's just crazy. So anyways, guys, got a bunch of goodies in the description area. Check out the description. Much love as always, and have a great day.